Do you ever feel like you have so much to share, but you freeze the moment the camera is turned on? In this video, I'll show you how to speak with confidence and connect deeply with your audience. Welcome to today's episode on podcast interview tips and feeling confident. If you have ever wanted to start your own YouTube channel or speak confidently in the public, or you want to appear for a podcast appearance, but you feel nervous, you feel scared, you feel unsure, then this episode is for you. Welcome to Luxury Unplugged podcast. This is Neeti Keswani, your host, and here today I'm sharing with you the tips that can help you overcome fear, gain confidence, and appear confidently for your podcast interviews. Let me help you show up as an authentic, engaging self. Many of my clients have struggled with speaking in public, especially in the podcast interviews or on camera confident situations. But after applying these techniques, they have appeared confidently on the podcasts and they have also successfully started their YouTube channels. So, by the end of this episode, you will have actionable steps to release fear, release doubt, and appear confidently. Show up with clarity and charisma for every podcast, every interview, or recording session. So, let's get started. Now, let's say you are invited to a podcast interview. Maybe you are watching a podcast interview and you aspire to be on a podcast someday. You want to share your wisdom nuggets, and then pretty soon you're also invited for some of the podcast episodes. Now, when the interview day comes, you chicken out or you feel a strange nervousness inside. Have you ever felt like this? Well, if you have, you're basically wondering in your mind, what if I forget everything? What if I'm unable to answer the questions that I'm asked? What if they ask me tricky questions? What if they ask me about an experience that I don't want to talk about? Perhaps they might judge me. Perhaps the audience judges me. So, in all these situations, we are basically telling that we are not perfect yet. And although we may be having the skills, the talent, the capabilities, yet we do not have that courage to be on a podcast interview because basically we are feeding our mind with the thought, I am not enough. And when you have that extensive experience, those skills, those talents, you have something in you that you can actually share with your audience. You have that specialized knowledge, but something within you is stopping you. What is that something? That is basically your nervousness, your fear, your self doubt that's speaking to you in that moment and making you feel weak and prevent you from showing your best version. So, today I'm teaching you a technique to dissolve your fears, your doubts, basically everything at the subconscious level, because sometimes we're not even aware that these things exist. Your podcast interviews are about your confidence, your positivity, and your energy, but mainly it's about your story. What do you want to communicate to your audience when you appear on a podcast? And in this episode, today we are using an ancient spiritual technique, Ho'oponopono. Now, you might be wondering that Ho'oponopono is used for so many purposes like relationships, perhaps money also. But how can it be used to cure my fear, my judgmental challenges, especially related to interviews? Well, let me explain. Now, interview, you might think is just a question answer format that a podcast interviewer does, and the podcast guest answers the questions and comes out of the interview. But that's not true completely. It is also an energy exchange. The person sitting across you and you're sharing energy. There is something going on between both of you. What you say is important, but what you even want to communicate to the audience is even more important. That vibration, that body language, that trust, that thing has to get transferred to your audience. So the problem is that most podcast guests prepare their knowledge well. In fact, sometimes they don't even have to prepare well because they're already so skilled, so talented, so experienced in their craft that they don't have to prepare. But sometimes they are bombarded with other challenges of perhaps growing a startup, or perhaps they are thinking about internal fear or rejection or trauma or some sort of a deal that was supposed to go very flawlessly didn't go through. Those kind of things keep on circling in their brain and sort of hamper their confidence level in the moment. So, before the podcast interview, there is this additional fear of judgment by the audience, especially if you're a very public figure. So, this energy is what the interviewer senses, the audience senses, and if you're not confident, you are not able to be telling your story in the right way on the podcast. So, how can Ho'oponopono help you in getting off that fear? Well, these four phrases that we've been talking about: I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, and I love you. These phrases cleanse the subconscious mind. When your emotions are aligned, you feel confident naturally. Now, I'll teach you this the way I'm teaching my clients, my students, and that can help you turn every interview, every public experience, every public speaking engagement that you go into a success story. Let's get started. Now, step one is about healing the fear of judgment. Most people fail because of an inner voice. What people think, what will they say? They'll judge me. If I do good, they'll judge me. If I'm fumbling, they'll judge me. That fear makes you nervous before an interview. So, practice. How would you practice? Sit in a calm place, hands on your heart, and slowly repeat, I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you, and I love you. Who are you saying this to? You're saying this to your own self, your own subconscious mind, because it is your fear of judgment. It is your fear of judging what they will judge, you see. So thank yourself for having the courage to show up in spite of those fears. Say that I'm good in this interview. I'm going to shine in this interview. Say that to yourself. So, for example, one of my podcast guests, he's a founder of an ID firm. He approached me with this fear of judgment beforehand. And that was a good part because then we had few sessions just on working on his fears and his subconscious challenges. And then he came on my podcast. And in our interview together, he sat very calmly without any fears, fearless almost, and his answers flowed naturally. Even when he did not know an answer, something cropped up in him. He was inspired towards an idea and he could talk about it very calmly, very confidently. So, after that, he has been on a roll and he has gone ahead and started his own YouTube channel. Now, many people hesitate to go on a podcast because they fear, what if I do not have the answers? What if I freeze? What if I feel silly? What if I sound silly? What if no one likes what I say? So these are the things that are going to hamper you from speaking from your heart. But let me tell you, these fears are very normal. They can be managed. Your confidence isn't about being perfect. It's about being authentic and prepared. Yes, the way we speak is going to come through in the conversation, but let that be normal. Let that be comfortable for you. Do not get into the feeling that, oh my God, I have to appear a certain way, I have to do a certain thing. Because the more authentic you are on your podcast, the more likely you're going to get likes. So, one of the most effective ways to overcome this fear is through Ho'oponopono meditation. Now, through this, we can clear the self doubt, the anxiety, and the past fears from your subconscious. You can do something very important and very simple. You can sit in a quiet space comfortably, hands on your heart, close your eyes and take a deep breath. And then repeat these phrases slowly. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. And I love you. I'm sorry for all the moments I've doubted myself. Please forgive me for the fear that has held me back. Thank you for giving myself the courage to show up. I love you for accepting yourself completely. Say this to you. Okay? See yourself on the podcast, on the camera, calm, confident, glowing, speaking naturally. Feel the nervousness dissolve and your authentic energy shining through. Repeat this meditation 5 to 10 minutes before recording. Feel that voice, that energy, that presence, immediately feeling grounded and natural. And then when you go on a podcast as a podcast guest, you're going to be loving that particular episode as much as your host. This is the reason some of the podcasts go really well and some of them are facing a lot of resistance, right? So, what are the practical tips for podcast interviews? Prepare. Number one, don't memorize. Never memorize your answers. Know your key points and your stories. but allow your answers to flow naturally. Authenticity helps you beat perfection, and that will help you come across as somebody who can be trusted, right? So anchor your confidence in your words, in what you speak and how you speak. Before going live, take deep breaths, place your hand on your heart, and remind yourself, I'm ready. I'm ready. My story matters. My voice is heard. Then you use storytelling techniques, which I've also talked about on this channel. So, your storytelling techniques will help you in understanding how to engage your listeners with your stories. Think of one personal story, think of one professional story that illustrates the points that you want to cover in your podcast interview. Okay, it should make you memorable. That is the idea of an interview on a podcast. Then it's all about energy. You see, when you smile, when you speak with warmth, when you maintain an open, inviting posture, even if it's just on camera, your energy communicates. You become more confident, more than your words, even. You are listened to with much more comfort and trust. Your audience starts trusting you. Now, I have listed 4 points over here. Can some of you comment down below what are these 4 points for easy reference? These are the practical tips for podcast interviews. Number one, what is it? Prepare but don't dash. Please write it down in the comments. Second, anchor your dash. What is it? What do you need to anchor? Third, how to use storytelling techniques? What are the two things that I talked about? What are the two stories that I talked about? Fourth, what is the energy that I'm talking about? How does your energy matter in a podcast interview? Comment, comment, comment. I want to hear from you. Now, if you have been dreaming of starting your own channel or appearing confidently on podcast episodes, you want to be appearing at so many places, publicly speaking perhaps, but you feel stuck. You feel nervous. I can help. In the description below, there is a link to book a discovery call with me. And on that call, we will discuss in 15 minutes how to tell your story authentically. We will go about my process. How do I take my clients through that? How to show up confidently on camera, how to engage listeners and grow your audience. And many of my clients have transformed their fear into confidence and now speak effortlessly on camera. This is your chance to do the same. So, book that call right now. Many of my clients have transformed their fears into confidence and now they speak effortlessly on camera. So, if you also want to do the same, then book a call with me and let's discuss what's your story. Also, follow this daily routine summary. Heal your fear, your pressure points daily, release past failures, and do the confidence anchoring. Align your energy with your Ho'oponopono practices. Apply instant calmness even before the interview starts. So, all of these will take about 45 minutes every single day, but do it diligently so that you are able to appear for your podcast or your public appearances very confidently. Okay, so now your confidence and your energy starts to shift and the results will be evident to you. Remember that the interview result isn't just about your answers, it's also about your energy. So comment down below, I'm ready to ace my interviews. And I'm going to share this video with my friends preparing for interviews. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel and keep coming back for amazing content.